seem to have a deep room at camp, coming into camp. How deep is it in your opinion?
Yeah, man, I think, it's filled with a bunch of guys that high school recruits, and the addition of Marvin Jones Jr., who's doing a great job. And we still believe in high school recruiting, and we're going to be strategic in the portal and get the right guys. And Marvin has been amazing. But I just love the development. I think, with you just name all the guys, go down the line. They all got warts, they all got things they got to work on, but it's filled with a bunch of guys that have been in the program now going on for several years.
Guy that's been in the program about as long as anybody, R. Mason. Just when he has the type of year that he had a year ago, what do you look at him and say, you need to get better at this? And
Yeah,
how's that
well, there's lots of, that's what's funny. I think he and I had a talk. We sat down and go, okay, because he was weighing, do I go to the NFL or do I come back?
Sure.
And, and so he and I kind of shut the door and looked at what's best for him. What's best for Oklahoma is to have R. Mason back, no doubt. That's pretty easy. But what's best for you? Then we just did an honest evaluation of his game and asked him, he looked at his NFL grades, and what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish at Oklahoma? And he has his own personal goals of things that he wanted to improve on. And I had things that I wanted to improve on as a position coach and as a defensive mind, and things that comments that the NFL scout said as well. And so he's been attacking those things this spring and this fall camp.
How fun is it coaching this group? It seems like there's just a lot of talent across the board.
Yeah, we're in a different place than when we first got here. And every year, by God's grace and recruiting, and then the guys staying, man, kudos to our guys, staying put. You talk about a guy, R. Mason Thomas, or a PJ, because they're getting hit up all the time. I mean, we know who it is. Come on. And 5-star guy with high expectations, and you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And in the game, there's no just foolproof plan, and everybody's different. Every guy's different. R. Mason was probably the most talented edge in my room going into his second year, and he gets ankle injuries. And has him fall camp, and then has him in his first game back in a home game, and he's out for a long time. And I told y'all R. Mason was pretty good. And he was like, well, we'll see. We ain't got no ankles, it's hard to play edge. And then he starts his junior year and was the most productive guy in all SEC and second team. And a guy like PJ, man, who's just stayed put. He's bloomed where he's playing. A guy like Taylor Wine, can't wait for y'all to see him. And a guy like Daniel Koy going to his second year, just is a different player. And all those guys are just named Wyatt Gilmore taking steps. It's just at different spots, And so, to me, it's a testament to them. It's a testament to stick-to-itness. I got two great concerns for athletes coming into college football today. Number one is that they don't learn perseverance. That's a real concern of mine as a disciple maker and as a mentor. How can you be great if you're always bouncing around different position coaches, different dorms, different universities, different play calls, how do you learn, man? And then number two, the majority of these guys will make less money coming out of college than going in. That is a concern of mine. For NIL, we all were on scholarship, and whether you went to the NFL or worked at Chick-fil-A, man, you made some money. And now these guys, so we try to do a good job programmatically. Coach V does with our Soul Mission, with NIL advisors, trying to help them. They start investing now, start saving now. But it's a testament to the guys. The guys show up every day. The group, going back to the question about the group, the Edgemen, they let me coach them really hard. And they're all at my house, man. Those guys, they don't live with me, but man, they live with me. We don't have D lineman dinners. They just come over. And they're hanging out with Miss Megan and the kids, and my kids, to my kids, they're superheroes. And so we've built an amazing relationship, and so they allow me, when I'm coaching them hard, they know it's from a place that I'm for them.
Miguel, a guy like PJ last year who had that ankle injury early, how hard was that? Because he's a guy you talk about class expectations, wants to get out there, but kind of start last year.
I think the expectations are, when you're more highly recruited, there's more outside expectations, but the expectations for all my guys, the standards up here. You know, if you play for me and Coach V, and if you play at Oklahoma, I don't care if y'all might have, or the outside world might have less expectations for them, so they give them more grace or time. But for me, it's up here. It's a standard, right? And then the wisdom as a position coach, you don't treat a freshman like you treat a senior. You know, I got a 9-year-old and I got two 5-year-olds. I don't talk to my 5-year-olds like I talk to my 9-year-old. That's crazy. And man, but he's been just amazing. He's having a really good camp, and he's about 265. With a 7'1" wingspan, and but man, he's coming to his own, which I'm really excited to see.
You mentioned him earlier. It seems like Taylor Wine's got people really excited. What's he done so far in the summer and fall that's got
My favorite? Well, I think fundamentally who Taylor is. Taylor Wine is as invested as anybody on this team. You know, I call him the assistant edge coach. You got me, you got Trent Simpson, and you got Taylor Wine. R. Mason is the clear leader of the group. But man, there's not a guy that lives in our building as much as Taylor Wine, and you've just seen his growth be expedited. He's long, he's athletic, he's tough, and he cares. And so it's good competition now in the Edgeman room.
All your guys seem to be growing, as you pointed out, growing up in your program. Many are over 260 pounds now, playing defensive end. That used to not be the way at Oklahoma, but it is now under you. Talk about that and what that does for your defense.
I just think, man, y'all saw those opponents we played.
Right.
You know, them old linemen are pretty big. Them boys, they like Waffle House, and you got to be able to stop the run. How do you fundamentally to a great defense is you want to get to 3rd and long. Everybody likes pass rushers, and people know that they pay them well. Well, then you got to get to 3rd and long. Well, how do you do that? You have to be really great on early downs, and if you're getting a base block, don't run up the field. Well, I'm outside. No, you're not. You just made the freaking gap. Whoever based off the call, whoever's fitting that B gap, you've made that gap this big. And that's hard to cover. I don't care how athletic you are. You know, so I think it's a mindset. I look for guys that aren't afraid to put their face in there. I look for guys that love it. I look for guys that want to be nasty, that they want to compete, dominate, and hunt. And you got to be athletic enough and twitchy enough and all that stuff too. But just fundamentally, we believe, man, we're so multiple and versatile and aggressive, especially, you know, early downs as well. But we're going to bring pressure, and if you're going to do that and you want to attack people, you have to be in 3rd and longs.
Going back to PJ, you mentioned the ankle injury last year. How beneficial is it for him to have a guy like R. Mason, who, again, his second year?
Yeah, it's just a great testimony. You know, Mace was talking to the guys, but he's also talking to he came to the official visit, was talking to recruits, and talking about perseverance. You know, talking about, man, you know, like so many kids, I think if they don't have immediate success as a freshman, you know, so it used to be if you didn't have immediate success as a freshman, well then you just go to work. Well, now you have an opportunity to leave and then not have continuity for yourself because of the portal, and you're monetarily incentivized to. Right? People, like, as a general rule, so who do you work for?
24/7 Sports.
24/7 Sports. All right. 247. Okay. If somebody wants to hire you from 247, they have to do what?
Offer me a job.
Yeah, but they have to offer you more money. Does that make sense? Let's keep it real. They have to pay you more. And generally speaking, it's the cost of acquisition is always higher than the cost of retention. Generally speaking, just keeping it real. Okay? And so we've created a world where guys can leave whenever the heck they want to, and we've monetarily incentivized them to do it. All right? And so once again, I just try to keep it real with my guys and talk about the blessing of blooming where you're planted. And all the great players I've been around, they've been head down, go to work guys. That's how you're great. That's how you're great in marriage. That's how you're great at anything, man. Put your head down and go to work. Get your 1,000 hours in. And so, but yeah, R. Mason sharing his overcoming adversity and expectations. Coming out of fall camp, y'all didn't know, he was the best. He was the most productive GM. Coming out of fall camp after his second year. You know, this was a room with Ethan Downs in it. And R. Mason was the best one. And I think it shows that as multiple and as versatile as we are, you can still be we've had, Jaden Jackson was a freshman All-American last year, Eli Bowen, 2 freshmen. We've had freshman All-Americans on our defense for a long time, but you can be a first, second-year player and have success.
Miguel, what's it been like kind of watching Daniel Koy grow up, and what's kind of maybe the next step for him?
Freaking awesome. Coyote. Arr, that's his nickname. He got it. Coach Schmidt gave him the nickname Coyote because I think it's because it sounds like a Koye. I don't know. So I come in the weight room one day and they're going Coyote. I'm like, who the heck y'all talking about? They go Coyote. I'm like, who is that? They go Danny, a Koye, Coyote. I'm like, those don't even sound the same. But he's a madman, man. When he knows what he's doing, he's playing really fast, and just an unbelievable young man. And as handsome and as gifted and as talented and as likable as he is, and as athletic as he is, he's a better person. And it's a joy coaching him. You know, he's going to be a household name here really soon. I mean that.